Hey you guys, welcome back to this channel. I am so glad to be back. This is now the second time that I've had to disappear for in the last month and a half. I am so glad to be back. I was so sick, you guys. Oh my goodness. I'll touch on this, you know what I mean? Because I know I don't owe you guys an explanation, and people tell me that in the comments all the time, when I explain things, they'll say, you don't owe us an explanation. And I know I don't owe you guys an explanation, but you guys are my friends, and if I was sitting down to have coffee with you and I hadn't seen you in a month and you were like, hey, where the heck have you been? Obviously I would be telling you where I was. So, I'm not going to get into huge details, but basically, you guys know that the last month and a half has been extremely stressful. Obviously, the month started out with us losing Finley very suddenly and just completely unexpectedly, which was completely traumatic, honestly. And then also stuff that I hadn't talked about here on YouTube, but we had multiple family members that were going through different medical procedures and surgeries and different things like that. My husband was actually in the process of switching jobs. So there was just so much stress going on, and I was definitely having I was not handling the stress well, and I was having some stomach issues, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. You know what kind of stomach issues I'm talking about. Everything was coming out that I ate. The other thing was too, every time that I was eating, I really wasn't very hungry, and I knew that was because of the stress. But when I would eat a small amount, I felt nauseous. I just nothing was settling well. And when, when you're nauseous and, you're not able to eat a lot, so then you tend to like be like, okay, well, what sounds good? And anything that sounded good to me was like complete crap. You know what I mean? Like I would have like a bowl of cereal and then, I would eat it and it would come out. Well, here's I'm telling myself this and I'm telling you guys this, like, don't ignore your mental health, you guys, because your mental health will seriously affect your physical health. So basically a month worth of that. And I kept telling myself, things are going to calm down. And once things calm down, my stomach and everything will get back to normal. I'll be fine. Well, a month of that is not what happened, because obviously the stress just doesn't stop. You know what I'm saying? And so I ended up in the emergency room, severely dehydrated, rapid heart rate. My blood pressure was like spiking super high, which I've never had high blood pressure. My potassium levels were like completely bottomed out. Like it was bad. So they had to give me IV fluids and stuff just because of the hydration, and then also trying to get my heart rate to come down. And then the actual like prognosis, what am I trying to say? Basically what they released me with from the emergency room was diverticulitis, which I talked to my primary doctor and she said that probably was just because like my whole gut system had gone through like a month of hell. That's probably what brought it on, because it wasn't like the serious like surgery type of diverticulitis. Mine was the acute uncomplicated diverticulitis. All that to say, it still was hell. I had no idea. Like, I don't know many people with diverticulitis, so comment down below if you have had it. But even with the acute uncomplicated, they had to put me on 2 very strong antibiotics, which made me sick as a dog. I was so sick. Migraines, nausea, dizziness, blurry vision, like the whole deal. Two of these stupid antibiotics. And then on top of that, you have to go on like a liquid diet. So I was so nauseous from the meds, but I really couldn't eat anything. I had to just drink. It was so bad. I was so weak and it was bad. It was really bad. So here we are. It's been, what has it been? It's been like almost 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks. I am still not back to my normal diet. I'm having to like gradually introduce things and keep things pretty bland. They're telling me I need to be drinking at least 80 ounces of water a day. I'm eating a ton of bananas to bring my potassium up. I mean, it was like a whole ordeal, you guys. I have never been that sick in my life. And honestly, it was all from stress. It all started from stress. So take care of yourself, you guys. And I'm telling this to myself too. I'm saying, I'm telling me, like, Sarah, take care of yourself. And I know people are going to roll their eyes when I say this, but self-care is so important. And this is exactly why. Because if you are not taking care of yourself and then you get into a situation like this, you can't take care of other people. Like, you just can't. Like, I could not take care of other people. I could not cook. I could not. Do you know what I'm saying? My son and my husband had to take over, which was honestly really amazing because they did a fantastic job. And I'm not gonna cry. Hang on, you guys. Okay. No, as I was saying, I am very, very blessed because both of them they showed that they are willing to do whatever it takes to get me healthy again. So I know that I am so blessed in that, because I know a lot of people don't have that kind of a support system. So it was really nice to see that. All of that to say, though, I'm still kind of recovering. I'm definitely starting to get my energy back, which is so nice. So today is not going to be like a huge crazy day. I did some cleaning this morning. I got up at 4:15, which is kind of our normal time because my husband, with his work schedule and everything. And I did have a protein shake at like 4:30. As you guys saw, I just had some oatmeal and I did some cleaning this morning, some vacuuming, some folding laundry, stuff like that. now I want to get into the things that I like, the extras of the day, like the stuff that's not like daily things, like the vacuuming and all that. Which one of the things I want to do is put our hummingbird feeder back up today, because the hummingbird should be coming back. I mean, it's starting to get to the point where it's warm. Like today is supposed to be, I think, like the low 70s, but then tomorrow is only supposed to hit 60. So we're at that point where we'll have like some warm days, and then we have days that are still kind of chilly. But I'm thinking they should be back in the area already or soon. I haven't seen any. So we're gonna put the hummingbird feeder out today. I also need to clean off our glass tables out on our patio, because the pollen is like insane. You can like clean the glass tables and literally 2 days later it looks like you haven't touched them in a year. Like the pollen is like for real. So I want to do that also today, and then we're going to get into something else, which I'll explain that more once we get to it. So first things first, let's go ahead and make some hummingbird nectar. Okay, so I got the hummingbird feeder up from the basement and I washed it really, really good. And then this is the recipe that I am using, and this is from the Audubon Society. So this, I mean, they obviously should know what they're talking about. So you use 1/4 cup of white sugar, and they were very, very like adamant that you do not use things like honey, because it can cause like a fungal thing, and you don't use like fake sugars, like, you know, like no stevia, even if it's all natural, like no molasses, nothing like that. You want white refined sugar, and then 1 cup of boiling water. So I'm actually going to double this, because obviously this hummingbird feeder is a little bit bigger. So I am going to do 1/2 cup of white sugar and 2 cups of boiling water. And I have the water boiling or getting ready to boil. So we'll get this mixed up in just a minute. Okay guys, so we have our boiling water here. I've got 2 cups, and then I have the 1/2 cup of the white refined sugar. We're just gonna put that in there, and we're supposed to stir it until it dissolves. And then this has got to cool off before we can put it in the feeder. Another thing that they were saying on the Audubon Society website is do not put food coloring or, you know, any kind of dye or anything in this. They said it's not necessary, and that is actually harmful to hummingbirds. They also said not to use commercially produced hummingbird food, which sucks, because like in the past I have done that and I had no idea. I honestly thought if it was, you know, if it was manufactured by like a place, like, then it must be okay for the hummingbirds. And I know for a fact it had red dye in it, and that makes me like really, really sad, because I didn't know any better. Like I didn't know that could hurt the hummingbirds. So from now on, we are going to be making it just like this every time I need to fill the feeder, which even though the feeder isn't going to be empty in a few days, I will, you know, switch it out in a few days just to get fresh in there, just to make sure there's no, I don't know, nastiness in it. So anyway, okay, so this looks like it is pretty well dissolved. We're going to go ahead and just let that cool now. And while it cools, we'll go ahead and clean off the glass tables outside and get rid of some of that pollen. So check out these tables, you guys. Like, they are such a mess. Look at the pollen. Like, that is so bad. And then like over here, we have another one over here. Like, look at that. It's like yellow from the pollen. It's just bad. And then we have another one over there. One exciting thing though that I will show you guys. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me zoom in. We have a nest, a robin's nest, which this is our 3rd year of having this porch, and this is the 3rd nest we've had. Every single year they build somewhere on the porch. So yeah, that has been super exciting to watch. Hopefully, you know, everything goes well with the babies. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started on these tables. So much better. Now I'll have to do this again in 2 days because the pollen will come back, but at least for now it looks good. And now that I'm done, I'm just gonna kind of sit out here and relax for a little bit, get some fresh air, listen to the wind chimes, all that good stuff. And then we'll move on to the next task. Okay, so the last thing that I kind of wanted to accomplish today was clearing out my stuff from this cabinet. My husband has a few things in here. I'm not going to clear his out, but I wanted to clear mine out because, let me show you guys. Okay, so that basket right there, that is the Project Use It Up basket. And I think what I'm going to do is actually do like a finale for that and be done with it and start something different for the summer, just because I thought it would be fun. And like, I'm honestly getting like really, really sick of all these fragrances. So, in order to do that, okay, so basically almost all of my like hygiene, like beauty, body care, all that stuff is upstairs in different cabinets. And then as I use things, I'll put them in this cabinet. And this cabinet honestly is getting a little too cluttered for me. So I'm going to completely clear it out except for the Project Use It Up basket. And then there are a couple of things that will stay in the basket that are, that I don't, remove from this cabinet. It's not something that I like switch out type thing. But the rest of it is going to get cleaned out. And then we will be starting something new once I do the Project Use It Up finale. So as you can see, I actually already started putting stuff in a box. Like I've got like makeup and just all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to remove the rest of the stuff and put it in this box. I'll show you what I'm going to leave in there. And then I think we'll probably end the vlog at that point. Okay. It's all cleared out except for the stuff that I like wanted to keep in here. I'll show you though. So obviously, yeah, I kept the Project Use It Up basket. Then I have the Dial gold liquid soap. That's actually what I use to clean my nose ring. When I got my nose pierced, that's what the piercer told me to use. And I have never had an infection. It's never been sore. Like it has been like awesome. So that is what I use. Next to that, I have the Dr. Bronner's. It's the peppermint liquid pure Castile soap, Castile, whatever. The peppermint I love for when I have migraines. I can use it as a face wash, a body wash, and also as a shampoo. And it's like amazing for headaches. So I keep that just, right where I can get to it in case I get a migraine. Next to that is the Aveeno Skin Relief Moisture Repair Cream. That is my ride or die, holy grail facial moisturizer. So I may try other moisturizers and stuff, but the other ones will get switched in and out. This one is a constant. So that one is going to stay there. Up here, I have some essential oils. I have eucalyptus, peppermint, lavender, and tea tree. Those I do use all of them quite often, quite honestly, for different things. Next to that is the carrier oil that I use most of the time, which is sweet almond oil. And then next to that, I have some coconut oil, which is awesome for oil pulling or also for if you have like sunburn. So that's going to stay there. Right now, the lip balm that I'm going to keep in here is the C.O. Bigelow, my favorite night balm. I do have a bunch of other ones that I'll probably switch in and out, but that's going to be the one that just like stays here. This little, it's actually a candle holder, but I keep matches, so if I want to light candles in here, and then I also have a couple pairs of tweezers. And then these are the deodorants that I'm kind of like bouncing back and forth between, so those are going to stay. But yeah, other than that, everything was cleaned out. I have like all these little essential oils. I think I'm going to put those upstairs because I don't really need the small ones since the ones that I use the most are in big. So those are going to go upstairs. And then let me show you, this is the box. It is quite full of like everything. I also have this little thing that's like holding jewelry, which I need to put all this jewelry away and kind of start fresh and like just pick some basic stuff and then, you know, see where it goes. And then I also pulled out all of my masks. These are all like sheet masks, clay masks, all that stuff. So those are also going to go upstairs. So, okay, that's it, you guys. So look for the Project Use It Up finale video coming. And then, like I said, after that, we will start something new for the summer, something fresh and fun. But I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for a little bit. And I will see you soon.